The honourable member for Edmonton Ellerslie.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and through you to all the members here, I want to wish you all a Eid Mubarak, as it's a special day for us Muslims, as has already been stated in the House. And of course, even though it is a holiday for us, I chose to come to work regardless. Happy to do so, though, because of course the work of the House is extremely important, and it is our duty to be here to represent our constituents. So when it comes to the Bill 10 Financial Statutes Amendment Act, I think this is an important matter to debate, of course. And one of the primary concerns that exists with this particular bill is the fact that the Alberta is calling attraction bonus. Now, I completely understand what the government is trying to do. However, in the current situation, the current context that we're living, and the fact that we need more nurses and healthcare practitioners more than ever, and it was something that the UCP actually campaigned on during the election, which was recruiting more healthcare workers to the province of Alberta. It's surprising that in the Alberta is calling attraction bonus. I believe the minister, in a news release, actually went into all the professions that were being considered under this particular program. And the minister did say that it would include crane operators, electricians, heavy-duty mechanics, welders, and pipe fitters. But no healthcare practitioners, which is really surprising, since that's something that we desperately need here in the province of Alberta. I will tell you this, Madam Speaker, that in consultation with a number of my own constituents, it's a regular practice, as I'm sure the other members on the other side and all the members in my caucus do so. They meet with stakeholders in their communities, and they go in and talk to people. And I would like to tell you a little bit about the experience of a couple of my constituents with the healthcare system. There is a gentleman who did go to the Grey Nuns. He had a broken ankle. And this particular constituent, having gone to the emergency room at the Grey Nuns, was being treated for for his broken ankle. But then surprisingly, for some odd reason, and I can only assume it's because they wanted to free up a bed at the Grey Nuns, they decide to tell him that he has to go to the hospital in Leduc. And then so he was asked if actually a member of his own family can take him to the hospital in Leduc. And when he's like, well, no, it's not my responsibility. Like, if you need to move me, at least take me in an ambulance, right? Why am I being asked to do this? Like, this is my hospital. It's in my area, my district. This is the hospital that I should be going to, and therefore did go to the emergency room at the Grey Nuns, which is close to where my constituent lives. Albeit, and I'll just put in parentheses here, that the Grey Nuns is completely over capacity. We get the dire situation because it was the very last hospital built in Edmonton. And again, this government has decided to not just put on the back burner, Madam Speaker, but actually cancel the plans for the South Edmonton Hospital, which is very, very sad, since the last hospital in Edmonton was built in 1988. So, of course, the situation is that then my constituent is then taken to the hospital in Leduc, but then wasn't getting the care that he needed. That's one example, Madam Speaker. There's also Another situation, of course, where a constituent from my area ended up going to the hospital and unfortunately wasn't able to receive the care that there at the Grey Nuns Hospital as well. And so this just drastically demonstrates that the people of Edmonton, like many people all over the province of Alberta, are not getting the care that they deserve under this government. And so, again, I find it completely strange that under the Alberta is calling attraction bonus, that they wouldn't be trying to attract more healthcare workers and especially nurses to provide that care for the people here in the province of Alberta. Now, I understand it. The professions that the minister did highlight, again, those were crane operators, electricians, heavy-duty mechanics, welders, and pipe fitters. All very important so that we can build much-needed infrastructure here in the province of Alberta, and also for the private needs, the commercial needs of, in order to have business flourish here in the province. And I would beg the members opposite to then also consider that as people are being called into Alberta, it's going to put more and more stress on the actual programs that the province is required to provide for those people that will now be living here in the province of Alberta and will require those services. And especially healthcare, again, which we see what the problem is that we're having here. So instead of getting more healthcare workers into the province, they're not only not attracting those healthcare workers, which we desperately need, but then bringing in so much more people that are then going to have, that would be putting more additional pressures onto the hospitals. And then it's not only hospitals, Madam Speaker, but then it's also the schools, because all of these people that are going to be taking advantage of this, this bonus and coming here to the province of Alberta, of course, they're going to be coming with their families. They're going to be coming with their children. Those children are going to need to go to schools. And, you know, and I know that the members opposite, you know, they hoot and holler every time that the minister gets up and says we're building new schools, but the reality is that those schools that they're announcing are just announcements for plans. There's no actual construction of new schools happening. So, you know, I beg the members on the other side to, when they get up and they're with their rhetoric and they say, oh, we're building, let's be honest, let's be truthful. Yes, I get it, the plans are being made, but plans being made aren't going to provide more classrooms for those individuals that are then going to be calling Alberta home, that are going to require those services. The classrooms are going to continue to get bigger, where more and more students, you know, I was just meeting with a few students in my own constituency where they were telling me that one of their classes is 35 students, which is completely unheard of. 35 students in one class. And for the people who, perhaps members on the other side, don't have the experience of actually having to work with children with special needs. Perhaps they don't have that experience, so they don't know. But luckily, I've had the opportunity to meet with a number of constituents in Edmonton-Ellerslie who, since I was elected in 2015, have been bringing to my attention the radical requirements that are needed for children with special needs. And the fact that we don't have enough educational support workers inside of our education system to actually help with those children with special needs only puts more and more pressure on the teachers in those circumstances that have classrooms of 35 children or even more. So here we are, we're putting ourselves, or the government is putting the people of Alberta in a situation, in a context, where the pressure is growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And yet, here we have our beloved Minister of Finance using $4 million to administer a plan to give away $10 million. And I would beg the minister that that money could be better used in supplementing the needs for the programs that we actually need them for. I get it. We're trying to attract more people to the province of Alberta. You ask any economist, you say you want to grow the economy, well, you need to bring more people into it. So you get more people working in that economy. Yes, I agree. But at the end of the day, those public services that are required by those people are going to put continually more pressure on the system, Madam Speaker. And so the quality of the programs that are being offered by this government continually are eroded by the fact that they're not balancing those two aspects, Madam Speaker. We want to grow the economy. We want to have more jobs. We want to have more opportunities for the people that call Alberta home. But what is happening is the exact opposite when we erode the programs, especially when it comes to healthcare and education for the people of Alberta. So I would ask the minister that what is the plan? Through you, obviously, Madam Speaker, to the minister, I get that this is going to attract more people, but we need a better plan to be able to address the much needed requirements, I would say, of our citizens here in the province of Alberta, especially when it comes to education, because as the minister may know, the primary years of children in our education system are perhaps the most important, because we're essentially setting a psychological framework for these children. Are they going to get help from the system, or are they not going to get help from the system? You know, we know that in the past, under the previous leader of the United Conservative Party, they cut funding to the PUF program by 2/3, if I'm not mistaken. So this has had a drastic effect on especially all those families that are requiring those services for their children. If we want to do better for Albertans, then we have to address these issues. And I get it. Members on the other side, they're really focused on growing the economy. But as we grow the economy, we have to make sure that especially children aren't falling through the cracks, and that they are getting the programming that they need, the services that they need, the assessments that they need, so that we can make sure that they get on the proper track for their education system, for their education within the education system here in the province of Alberta. And as we continue to attract more and more and more people to Alberta, and we don't address these issues, like I said, Minister, through you, Madam Speaker, to the Minister, we are going to create more and more pressure, and people are going to start looking for another solution. And, you know, maybe that solution is going to be an Alberta NDP government in 2027. Who knows? I would happen to think so, right? Well, the members on the other side are laughing, but I'm telling them that the pressure is growing. And people are feeling underserved by this government, Madam Speaker. They're feeling underserved by this government. And you know, I've stressed it in this House so many times that when they underserve these programs, they're failing Albertans. They fail Albertans when it comes to providing programs that their taxpayer dollars are supposed to be going to. And I get it. You want to create incentives so that, you know, big box chain stores come in here and provide, you know, part-time jobs to people. But the reality is that people need more than just a part-time job, Madam Speaker. People need good quality mortgage-paying full-time jobs that they can depend on. So we need more than just the part-time jobs. Because what's happening, and I can't tell you the number of people in my own constituency, the majority of them racialized people that can't find that good quality full-time mortgage-paying job. They can't find it. And so what do they have to resort to?